Hey, hi, how's it going? It's gonna be a very muddy day here in the garden today, and Brent is here to help, and so is Freya today. So that is an exciting day in the garden. Let me show you what we're doing. This has been a project that we bought something, and then it's just been sitting because we have not been wanting to deal with it because we knew this was going to be a very muddy project and a very big project. Are you excited?
No.
Okay. So we bought a tree, a very, very tall, large tree in a very, very large container. This is a Venus dogwood. It's going to get 25 feet tall and 20 feet wide, and it has like one bloom left on it. But I'm really excited because now we have a dogwood tree, and that makes me so happy because I love dogwoods and I think that they're so incredibly beautiful. And I like them because you get kind of a lot of different things out of a dogwood tree. You get a beautiful green deciduous tree throughout the growing season. This one looks like it's probably a little stressed because it does look like it's been in this container for a very, very long time. So I'm sure it'll be slightly root bound, and I'm sure it'll be extremely happy to get out of this container. The blooms on these, it says that they get about 6 inches, and that's another reason that makes me think that this is stressed, because these blooms, all of them that were on here, were quite small. So I think she's ready to get out. And she's hardy down to zone 5B. I don't know the other zone, like the highest zone. It doesn't say, it just says on the tag zone 5B. But you can see here are the flowers. They're just so pretty and large and white and striking. And I think that they're just stunning. And then also in the fall, the foliar growth turns to like a red purple color. And that's amazing. And it's just going to kind of keep a really nice like round habit on. I'm literally backed up against the house. There we go. I had to go on the wide lens. Yeah, so this is it on the wide lens because I couldn't show it to you guys on the normal lens, but it is massive. So we are going to go get this planted, and let me show you guys where it's going because this is so exciting. It's going to go in this bed right here. Are you ready for it to go in this bed? Are you ready to dig the world's largest hole? Yeah. So we are taking out this arb that's right here. We've decided that we've got like a million arbs on the property, and so we're just going to take it out. I think I'm going to put it in another container, just like to store it until I decide what I'm actually going to do with it. But we've got to dig this arb up. Unfortunately, I do have garlic right here that is going to have to come up, and those amaranth that I planted, those are also going to have to come up because we have to dig a very large hole right in here for this to go. So we think that this will be a much better option. I don't know. I think it'll be really pretty. I wanted to do it over there, but we really like the pine over there, and eventually that pine will get to like the correct size. We just have to be patient and slow going with it. But I wanted it there because I wanted it to like instantly block some views, and we've decided to just be patient and let that just happen. But we also thought like right here would be so gorgeous because we can see this like directly out of our living room window, and so we'll get that spring color, and then we'll also get the fall color. I also wanted to show you guys my death spike. That's kind of cool, right? Look at this. So this is the Bad Hair Day mangave, and it's been such a treat in the garden. I love it so much. It's called Bad Hair Day because it looks like it's got a really bad hair day. But mangave, what they do is they create these things called a death spike. And so this is a flower. What's going to happen is this is going to get extremely tall. I don't know how tall this one's going to get. And then it's going to produce a whole bunch of babies, and then it's just going to die. The whole bottom of it will die, and that will be the end of the life for this plant. So we're leaving it because we want to see how tall the death spike gets. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Brent had never seen that before or heard of that before, so I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. It is unfortunate that it's happening because I do want to put something else in its place. I don't know what I want to put in its place, but I did want something like medium growing right there. And so if it's going to die, it would be nice to just pull it out and get something in its place. But we also really want to see the death spike happen. So, are you ready to get to work now?
Yep, let's go.
Okay. Okay, we got the space cleared out. We put the tree in a container back by the shed over there. Brent is grabbing us some shovels so we can start digging out. This is going to be such a big project. Really, really large hole that we got to dig right there, but it's going to be so worth it. And then we put the tree inside the gorilla cart, just to get it out of its plastic container, and then just kind of like check on the soil. The soil looks good. It's a little dry, which is funny because it's been raining here, so kind of surprising. But it doesn't look root bound at all. Like the roots are like barely touching the edge. So I did come through and I did kind of like rough it up a little bit, but it's not severely root bound. It looked a little rough on the surface because I'm seeing all these roots, but like the roots are just barely making it to the edge of this container. So that's a really good sign. So now we get to dig a really large hole. Here we go. You guys, it's so pretty. Look at this. What telephone pole? Where? Never even seen it. It's so pretty. I really, really love it here. So we planted it slightly high, so it's kind of like mounded up a little bit. That's what you want to do. We didn't go any deeper. I put like a little tiny bit of soil, just like a dusting, because there were some like aerial roots up there. So, I mean, you can see like that's the original dirt right there. So it's just got like a little light cover of soil on top of it. You don't really want to bury it any deeper than the tree already comes. You can see that that's actually a graft point right there. So I don't know what it was grafted on. It must be a stronger root stock. I didn't really do too much research, if we're being completely honest. I just saw it, fell in love, and bought it. I did pay $3.75 for it. Did you see the bird? It's on the other side of the fountain. Oh, there it is. I think the birds are going to love it. I think that they're going to start perching on this and then using the fountain. It's so good. I can't wait for the fall color. I can't wait for the spring blooms. We have to wait for the fall color and we have to wait for the spring blooms, but I love it. And I also love that it's going to give me a view underneath. I think the other tree that was there was just too much. It was just kind of a little too solid, where this creates like a really nice window in here. I do have a gomphrena, one of the truffle pink gompphrenas right there, and that did winter over. And so that is going to fill in this hole right here. And then I do plan on coming in with some annuals and filling this whole ground in with annuals. Maybe we'll do that today. Oh, also we did some research on this death spike. It said that they can get like 6 feet tall, but we saw a picture of somebody on Facebook. I can't post it because it's not my photo, but we saw on Facebook somebody posted their death spike of their mangave of bad hair day specifically, and it was probably close to like 8 or 9 feet tall. It was so cool. We're really it's really sad because once it gets the death spike, that's it, it's dead. It's going to die. But the death spike is really cool, and we're really excited to see how tall this death spike gets. Super funny to be excited about a plant dying. Look at this view with the trees. Everything is starting to get layered. Brent's back there grabbing me some of the wire baskets because we're going to plant some annuals today. We're going to plant euphorbia. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use wire cages on because I know that the voles will leave them alone. Nah, we're going to use the wire cages. Okay, I've got 6 euphorbia that I want to get planted, and I think I'm going to just kind of drift them in here. Is this how I want to do it? Yeah, we're going to drift them along the backside right there. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put 6 of them right in there. Let me show you which ones I've got. So I have 6 euphorbia. I've got these really cool pink ones right here. These are called Star Blast Pink Euphorbia. They are kind of a really small euphorbia. It says that they only get 8 to 12 inches tall. So they don't get super big. So these will just be a very like accenty plant, but I loved the like pink and green variegation on these, and then the pink blooms are just to die for. I'm madly in love with this euphorbia. I wish that I had bought more of these, but I did want to just buy 3 just to like see how well they did. And then over there I have 3 of, I think this is the Diamond Frost. Yeah, 3 Diamond Frost, which gets 12 to 18 inches tall and wide, and the frost is kind of like airy. I mean, actually exactly how it looks right now is about how it's going to look. So it's just kind of like a very airy looking euphorbia. And I've got 3 of those. So I'm going to just kind of like dot these kind of together. And both of these are full sun lovers, but it does say that they actually do surprisingly well in like a slightly shaded area. So that's kind of cool to see. I've never grown them in a shaded area. This will get, I think where I'm planting them now is going to be full sun, morning, noon, and night full sun area. Before it was like a, because of that evergreen there, and I had a dahlia that was tall growing there, it was one side of the bed got morning sun and then afternoon protection, and the other side got morning protection and afternoon sun. But I think this is going to be a full sun area now. And euphorbia is very sticky and toxic. It's in the spurge family, and it creates this like white sticky sap that is kind of like a latex. And so if you have a latex allergy, they say not to plant this one. Or if you eat your plants, don't plant this one. We don't eat our plants, and I don't have a latex allergy, so we're gonna get these planted. Look how pretty these are. This is so good. I love the tree. I love the windows that it creates. I feel like having it just be like a solid tree that was there was just, it was wrong. It wasn't the right choice. This is such a better choice. And then the euphorbia, oh, I cannot wait to see this fill in. The pink is gonna play off the pink on the Bermuda beach right here. And then the white will just be a nice little pop that ties into the latte over there and kind of melds everything beautifully. And then I like this little drift. So it comes here and it comes around and swoops around the tree on that side. Chef's kiss, primo. My brain wants me to put something right here, but I have that truffle pink gombrino right there, and that is going to get huge, and that will fill out that entire space eventually. So I know right now, while I want to, I know long run, it's going to be the wrong decision if I plant something there because of how big that is going to get. So we're not going to put anything there. I do have something there, that truffle pink gombrino. It will get some height to it. I can't believe that it wintered over for me. I want to show you guys the other ones that did also winter over. So in this bed over here, I had some that wintered over. I had a trio right here, and look at my first gombrino blooms of the season. How exciting is that? They're teeny tiny right now, but they will get bigger. They're not super large. They get like maybe like a marble size bloom. It's beautiful. I love them. I think they're very pretty. I think they're very whimsical, cottagey, magical. And I, for some reason, bought a whole flat of them. So not only did these ones winter over, but I also now have, what is it? How many do I have? 16 more. Super cool. So everything is planted. I have so much room in this bed still. I still have all the way around that other side of that bed. And I have this whole section here by the death spike. I'm gonna jam pack it. Not today though. This is where we say goodbye. The tree is in. That was a big project. I showed you my death spike, and we got some of the euphorbia planted. That's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I gotta go plant that other arb somewhere. I gotta go figure out where the other arb is going, the one that we just ripped out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for visiting our garden. We will see you in the next one. Bye.